Hello everyone, and welcome to my new Let's Play of Rimworld. In this game is a survival game. Basically, you are on a ship, and you are crash landing on a planet, and you're forced to survive, against raiders and the environment, basically. So, I'm going to show you how to play. And this will be Season 1. I'm going to start out with an easy setting. So let me just go ahead and show you what I've got set up here. I do have some mods installed. Keep in mind that Blasting Charge, Core, Miracle Healing, and Royal Bed are all part of the game. This is Alpha 2, and it just released the other day. And these are mods that are included in the game. You know, the ones that I have downloaded are More Turrets and Energy Turrets, and I have not used them. So that'll be fun to watch me struggle with. So let's get started. New colony. We're going to do something fairly easy to start out with. We will do more hardcore survival later on with it is, yeah, Tough Cleopatra. She's a bitch. But we'll get to it. I'm going to start out with Chilcali. So I'm going to show you guys basically what I like to start out with. I like to have one good miner, one good oaf, and with this new patch, social seems to be a big deal. So I'm gonna I usually just did a settler who was good at pretty much everything, but I'm gonna get a specialist who is good with social. That way it's easier to recruit people, because I have had a hell of a time recruiting people in this new patch. I had at one point 6 or 7 people that I had in prison, and they would not, for the life of them, they would not come over to my colony. So we're gonna try and getting someone who specialized in social. Okay, so these are my selections. What I have here is the oaf. I have no clue what the flame next to their name to the skill means. I'm assuming that means they're good at it. Yeah, I have no clue. Should probably look that up. But anyway, we got an oaf with a growing of 11. We have the reporter, who is on fire with social, which is what I want. Plus, they're pretty balanced on research, and 3s on everything else for the most part. So they can pitch in and help. Incapable of manual dump. No clue. And incapable of violent, which I'm assuming that means they can't fight, but I have no clue. Anyways, incapable of intellectual with the oaf, and the settler is incapable of intellectual and crafting. But as you can see, mining is 13, and they got a double flame on that, so it's a trade-off. We'll end up having this person doing most of the intellectual work, mining and sowing seeds. And as you can see, this is Zadian, this is me. So we're going to try and keep me alive. Apparently, I'm very lazy. I'm also vat grown. Yeah, thanks a lot. We're doing advanced settings. We're going to do a 250 by 250. I like the bigger maps. So, here we go. Okay, so for those of you who are new to Rimworld, basically, the backstory is you're on a ship, and when you start out, this is what you get as this screen. It says, the 3 of you awake in your long sleep sarcophagi to the sounds of sirens and ripping metal. You barely get to the escape pods before the ship is torn apart. Sometime later, you land on this unknown Rimworld. As pieces of shredded ship... I can't fucking read. I will edit that. As pieces of shredded starship fall around you, you start making plans to survive. So there we are. We are on the ground. And you'll see there's some supplies that are all around. You're going to start with your basic supplies. They're going to spawn you with 2 stockpiles, 3 just regular resting spots, and a little bit of silver. Silver is used for trading. We will get more into that later when we build a comm station. Everything else is pretty vital to right now. We're going to find the one who is best at shooting and give him the gun, the Lee Enfield that we start with. And it's right now looking like... Okay, he's got a flame next to shooting, so we're going to give him the gun. That sounded really redneck. Anyway, up here you'll see some muffalo. These are now a food source. You can kill them and butcher them with a butcher's table, which, again, we'll get into that more later. Bomb rats, same thing. They are now a food source, and so are squirrels. Now, the other thing that is a food source are humans. There's now cannibalism in this game, so if times get tough, I guess if we kill someone and we're starving to death, we can eat them. That's pretty crazy. Okay, so if you look right here, you'll see everything is X'd out. And everything you start with on the map is always going to be X'd out. This is to prevent your people from going and gathering it at, you know, when you don't want them to. So, say I only wanted to gather the metal. So I could just double click on the metal that's right here, hit F, and they're only going to gather this metal. Everything else with an X, they are going to leave alone. What I usually do is I zoom out, because I like to gather as much materials as possible, and I will hit F to unlock all the metal on the map. I will hit F to unlock all the food on the map, and I will hit double click on silver and unlock all the silver on the map. This way you're gonna have a good start. Oh, also there are now berries and another thing called, I can't remember what it's called. It's some sort of fruit. I will find some shortly, and I will show you that one. But berries, you can actually grow. The fruit, as far as I know, you cannot. But they're used for the paste dispenser and all that good stuff, which again I'll be getting into shortly. So this is our map. As you can see, there's materials all over it. Sorry for the far zoom out, but that's just how I roll sometimes. Oh, here we go. Here's some fruit. This stuff right here, agave fruit, I guess. Anyway, that is also a food source for making mills and the paste dispenser. And there's ore and stuff all over this map. You're gonna see areas of the map that look like this right here, and you also start with one right in your face. This is how you get more ore. Basically, you tell your guys to mine it. You can right click with your mouse to bring up your menu, your orders menu, and then click on orders and mine, and you can tell them to mine it. Basically what that does is you tell them, I want to mine this, and they're going to mine it. They're going to take the ore and they're going to put it in one of the stockpiles. So tutorial pretty much over for now. Let's get cracking. Okay, so basically what I've done is I've decided on a starting zone. This is where I'm going to build my base to start out, with plans to expand out this way. In this game, you're going to face raiders. At the beginning, it can be quite difficult. You want to make sure you have a secure location in order to protect your colonists, because once all your colonists are dead, game over. So I've chosen this because I can build walls out here and build sandbags and stuff to protect my people, so they can hide behind and shoot at the bad guys, basically. I will, however, be expanding out towards this. This is a real early game that I'm going to stay in this area. Not to mention, it's a lot of fertile land, and I can farm a lot of shit there. you don't want to stay in open areas like this or like this, because there's no protection from raiders, basically. So you want to do your best to try and get into a more secure location. I've got 3 stockpiles that I've made, and I've also designated some plants to be cut down because they're annoying me. But I've got one straight up, it's strictly for the food, for the raw food. I've got another one that's set up for the raw materials, the raw metal, and I've also got a place to put my silver. Silver, again, is a currency that you use when you are trading with other starships. Right now it serves no purpose because I do not have a comms desk, and I don't have a lot of it. A way to make money is, one of the best ways is to find like a combat ship or something that needs food, and you can trade them food. You can also trade other materials, like, I don't know, you can trade your metal. Metal and food's pretty much it. You can buy uranium and medical supplies from certain ships, and other ships will need that, so they'll ask for it'll be a higher price, so you can kind of buy and trade certain goods. But like I said, that's later on. This is the first episode. Basically, the first episode is going to be about survival for the first couple of nights. So I've got new area designated, and now I'm going to move on to designating my skills, and I will see you back here when I'm done, and I'll explain everything. Okay, so I've designated all my skills, and how I'm going to do it, and I'm going to show you a little trick here. This is one way you can look at it. The check marks are all basically even. So if there is a fire, they're going to do fire first, then doctoring, then warden, then cooking, and then so on and so forth, all the way down to research. This is a very simplistic way of doing it, and later in the game I will do it this way, because when you have a lot of people, the more simple you can arrange things. But for the very beginning, I recommend clicking on that check mark and designating in what order you want them to do it. Now this is saying basically everything with a number they will do, but they're going to do it in the order of that number. So if there's firefighting, that's the first thing they're going to do. Doctoring is the second thing they're going to do if there's no fire. And so on and so forth. So basically I've got this, we'll take this guy for instance. Everyone I set up is always going to do firefighting and doctoring first, no matter what. Those are 2 of the most important things. Fire can burn down everything you own, and if someone is dying, doctoring will save them. Which is why I always have everyone with those with a 1. Next is warden. We've designated this guy. He is going to be the one that tries to actually recruit people. That is why that is number 1 for him. Everyone else is blank. I do not want them touching it. I do not want them trying to. They are not going to talk to prisoners at all. Moving on to the next skill is cooking. I have designated someone to cook. Cooking is something that I will be doing later. This is more of a preemptive setup, so that when I do have cooking, he will actually cook. But as you can see, everyone else is 4, so if they are doing absolutely none of their other skills, they will pitch in and cook. However, it is the lowest designation for them, so if there is anything to be done like construction, repair, mining, or research, this guy right here will not touch cooking. Now, if there is cooking to do and there's none of those things to do, obviously he will cook. The other thing is if there's nothing for him to do, he will go and grow as well. That is to help out with making sure that my colonists have food. And you can pretty much tell from the other ones that they're set up the same way. So this guy's going to mine first. He's going to construct and repair second, haul and clean third. 4th is, of course, cooking and plant cutting. Plant cutting is it's useful, but if you have a good garden and you've got a good setup, you don't really need to worry about people plant cutting. Plant cutting is for like whenever you run out of food and you have to go on the map and harvest actual plants that are just growing naturally. In this case, we might have to do that at some point before we get our garden up, but I think we'll be okay.